So, building any 250K a month, quarter mil a month business, and really any business, any niche, whether it's low ticket, high ticket, private equity, right? This video is going to get a lot of context. So, if you're any sort of agency, SaaS, tech founder, info owner, right? You're a growth operator, you're looking to scale businesses and start building out a sales team and you're experiencing like look, all right, I'm doing 50K a month, I'm trying to outsource my sales calls. I don't really want to be taking sales calls. It's not the best use of my time. I want to focus on acquisition, scale my ads. All right, and I'm looking to build up my sales team. Video is going to bring a lot of context because I've had so many questions when it comes to building out a sales team, and it's not as easy to answer everyone's, how do I build this? How do I build that? Because everyone's stage of business is different, right? Whether you're selling an MRR, that game is going to be a lot different, right? Compared to, selling private jets and building a sales team for that, right? So, no. And if you guys don't know me, my name is AJ, founder of Innovate, and I come from sales background. I ran my own sales agency. I've ran my own recruiting agency. I've been a closer. I've been a setter, and I have seen what it's like for $4 million to be generated a month. I've seen the insights of what these businesses are doing on the sales side. So no, this video is going to be crazy. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing that I kind of want to cover is when it is time to scale a sales team, I kind of lump three pillars in dialing these things first before building a sales team. Okay, and this goes for any high ticket offer. All right, so before you even think about touching a sales team, you obviously need to have offer validation, okay, and making sure that the business overall is in a good place to afford like good salespeople. Because good salespeople, they will churn so fast if the business is not proven. So if like the business is a year old, and it's not proven, and they don't have a proven concept that the setter or closer can make money, they'll churn. So that's a really big issue, especially for startups that are like under 50K a month. Okay. Middle thing is the sales process, right? You have to have a dialed in sales process, obviously, in order to scale, right? Makes sense. And then the ecosystem that allows the sales team overall to grow, right? When it comes to hiring more people, firing more people, right? The systems in place, the workflows that put the closer and the sales team in the best position to make money. Okay, so the first one is obviously offer validation, right? Does the offer even make sense? And is the offer proven in the market to build a sales team around it, right? So, like I said, a lot of startups that are like under 50K, 100K a month still have to have proven acquisition systems and proof of concept. Otherwise, the business will break, right? So if leads are hot and cold, right, and you're only having your team do outbound, it's going to be really hard to retain an amazing sales team because the best players, they're going to go work for the biggest companies. They're going to go where all the inbound leads are coming, where ads, right, is just pumping out inbound leads, and these people are ready to buy, right? They don't want to work on an offer that isn't proven, right? So you'll have crazy churn rates, right? So the second one is the scalability of the offer, right? So offer owners, they fall into a big misconception of, all right, let's start making money and let's build a sales team, but the scalability of the offer isn't even there, right? So most people and this is for info owners mainly, whenever they run an offer, for some reason, they're like, all right, I'm going to offer a one-on-one mentorship and I'm going to charge 5K. Well, that doesn't make sense because if you hire a closer, bring on a closer, let's say you are the one taking on the fulfillment as the info owner, you don't have 24, you only have 24 hours. You can't take on that many one-on-one mentorships, right? So let's say the closer goes and closes 10 deals, 10 hours of your day is gone. Well, the business isn't scalable. Right, so you have to actually offer something that's scalable in order for the sales team to actually, close multiple deals and for them to eat as well, right? And there's no way you're going to get up past 100K a month offering one-on-ones unless you're offering a crazy high ticket. And at that point, you just close your own deals, right? If you're offering like a 50K one-on-one, 100K one-on-one like Andy Frisella or Bedros, crazy offer, you don't need a setter or a closer. You don't need a sales team for that. Just close your own deals, right? And can you even afford a talented sales team, right? Best talent don't come for cheap. And there has to be enough room for everybody to eat and sustain a really, really good team. So I'm actually going to use sports as a great example, just so you guys understand the juxtaposition, all right? LeBron, like the Warriors. I'll use the Warriors as an example. Steph Curry, right? If you guys don't know basketball, you might not get a lot of context. Or like Patrick Mahomes, football, whatever. The team only has a limited budget, right? They can't pay Stephen Curry $1 billion, right? Otherwise, the rest of the team won't eat, right? So let's say Steph's a closer, and the setters are like Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson. Everybody has to make enough money, and they have to fit in the budget, right? Because let's say your business is making $100K a month. All right. Well, if you're giving 10% out to the closers and 5% out to the setters, that means you're giving 15% of your business out, and that's mandatory. It's standard. So you have 15K a month in payroll at a 100K a month business, right? That's what you can pay the team, essentially, unless you want to run an unprofitable business, which I hope none of you guys. So you only have 15K to play with, right? The closer that's worked for Grant Cardone, who already experienced 30K a month, they're not going to work for you because you only have 15K a month to pay out, right? If we're giving out standard percentages. So that's what I mean when I say you can't even afford talented sales team. So you're going to have to settle for someone in your DMs, right, that doesn't have as much experience, right, that hasn't experienced what it's like to make 10K or like 10K, 30K, 20K a month, right? In order for that person to have them on your team, you have to train those people because you can't even afford the best reps, right? So obviously the first one is offer validation, making sure your offer is actually good enough to build a sales team around it. This is huge because otherwise you're going to experience crazy churn rates, and you're going to go through the same process of hiring and firing forever, okay? So massive right there. So how effective also is your internal sales process? Okay, so is the sales process even optimized, right? Or did you just get like a copy and paste script from some random info owner, right? Is the script tailored to you guys? Do you know it's proven? It books calls, right? Do you guys have automations? Do you guys have call confirmations, right? That puts the team in the best position to win. I'll give you an example. Like 90% of offer owners experience crazy no-show rates, especially when it comes to an info owner, right? Because they don't have the necessary workflows and they don't nurture their leads the correct way. So that's why when they get on the calls, if the calls even show up, it puts the closer in a really bad position, right, to close deals. So do you guys have pre-call homeworks? Do you guys have a YouTube to shorten your guys' sales cycles, right? How effective is your internal sales process? Is the script good, right? Does the closers know exactly what they're saying on calls, okay? Is the workload simple and scalable? Okay, so this is actually really big. What does it actually take for a setter or a closer to get deals across the line? Okay, what does the workload look like? Because nobody wants to be doing door to door, right? Or fucking cold calling. That's not scalable, right? I mean, maybe it is if you can find someone that's willing to spend 18 hours cold calling. Me personally, that I'm not, as a setter or a closer, I'm not doing that. So what does it take to actually book calls, close deals? Is it simple, right? Will the workload require a lot of work to bring deals to the door, right? I'll use a crazy name as an example. Alex Hermosi. He probably doesn't have to work, his sales reps probably don't have to work as hard as a brand new startup because he already has authority. He already has YouTube's up. He's already educated his audience. So the sales cycle is a lot different for his setters compared to a startup, right? So that's what I mean by like the systems in place. What do you guys have to actually put your team in the best position possible? Are you just making short form content and then expecting to monetize off of the 3% of the market that's ready to buy, right? That's going to be very dependent on like the sales team you can hire. Okay, so the quality of the quality of prospects that come through the door, right? This is also really huge. I know, especially in the info space, when it comes to the people that they talk to, right? Setters do not want to be talking to unqualified leads. Neither do the closers, right? So this is huge if you want to build a team capable of producing a quarter mil a month, right? So the quality of conversations that the prospects, are they knowledgeable on the offer? How hard does the sales team have to work, right? Is your script like 30 sentences because you don't have enough content up there or enough assets for someone to consume, right? Because those people, they're going to be harder to close, harder to get on calls compared to like someone like Iman who has years of YouTube content. Everybody knows what he does. So the people that hop on calls, they're already ready to buy, right? This is also very, very huge when it comes to building a really, really good sales team. You want to put them in the best position so they can close the most deals because these are the guys that's controlling the cash flow of your business. So why would you not put them in the best position to win and close more deals, right? Lastly, does the ecosystem provide systems to maximize cash flow? All right, so how dialed is the CRM workflows, processes, the team, the Slack operations, the internal follow-up sequences to maximize deals? This is really crazy because you'd be surprised at how many people I talk to don't even have a Slack or a CRM setup. It's insane. And they'll still make like thousands of dollars. But this is really, really important if you want to build a good sales team, right? Is the back end strong enough to withstand $1 million a month of throughput, right? If you have it, let's say, for example, if you had like 1 million leads, right? Just gave it to you right now. Is the CRM, the team, the manager able to hit every single lead without breaking? Like if I were to, like, let's say, okay, no ads, organic, I just gave you 1 million leads ready to buy, right? Is your ecosystem able to handle that much throughput without breaking? Probably not, right? So you have to build systems capable of managing $1 million a month, right? You have to have a good CRM. You have to have a good team. You have to have a good Slack. You have to have a good process. You have to make sure you maximize and make sure every single lead is hit, right? But most people, they won't run into that problem. So do you have the correct environments for the team to win? Do you have systems to win? Do you have good bonuses and structures? Do you have good leaders? Do you have good managers? Do you have good daily workflows? Because when it comes to outsourcing, one of the biggest things as well is having like a second head. Because really, like, yeah, you can go focus on like go and getting leads, but the sales team, it's one of the hardest things to maintain in business. It always has to be looked at. Every single conversation has to be reviewed. Every call has to be reviewed. And if you're a CEO or a founder, there's no way in hell you have time to review 1 million lead conversations. You have to have someone else in there, right? You don't see Elon Musk managing every single deal, right? That's also one really big thing I'm going to cover. If you're taking your own sales calls as a founder, you're basically saying you don't want $1 million a month. Okay, so these things boil down. I hope I hit this point right. These are the 3 pillars when it comes to before you build out the sales team, the offer validation, the business overall, right? So let's go to the next one. The opportunity costs. Okay, so this is really, really huge. So like I was saying, if you're a CEO taking your own sales calls, this is going to be huge right here. So pay attention. Okay, so this is pretty much any business, whether it's an agency, an info offer, this is what business essentially looks like on the back end. Okay, so what do I mean? Alignment. This is the mechanism you are pumping leads through, right? Whatever you're getting organic, referrals, you're running ads, this is where the leads go. Straight into your own mechanism, right? And in turn, you get a lead, right? You make content, whatever, you run ads, they go through some sort of funnel, VSL, and then instantly get put in the CRM and they become a lead, right? And from that lead, more than likely, in the day and age we live in, you're going to send them some sort of freebie, some sort of asset to educate. Some people use YouTube. YouTube's a great converting mechanism, right? So after they get sent to YouTube, whatever, they get educated about what you do, they're inside the CRM, right? And this is essentially where the setter comes into place. And this is also where I see, I have this in red here because I see a lot of drop off when it comes to the CRM and leads actually getting hit 24/7. So this is where the setter operates. They essentially text the lead off of the CRM where you have their information, right, their number or ManyChat or your Instagram DMs, whatever. This is where the setter comes into play. This is where they pick them up. Whether you drop CTAs on your story, this is where the setter comes into play, right? They have a conversation, whatever, calls get booked, right? And then after the call get booked, they go back to like a pre-call homework, right? You send them some sort of thing about testimonials, right? To obviously shorten the sales cycle, make it easier for the closer, right? They have the call. This is where you insert the closer, and this is where the deal is solidified, right? Have it down here as yacht money. These two I haven't read because this is where you'll experience the most drop off and missed cash collected, especially if you are a CEO taking the fucking calls and closing if you're setting your own calls and closing your own deals as the CEO. Okay, why? I'm gonna use very, very basics on for backing my statement, right? So let's say you want to make $1 million a month and you sell a 5K package, right? That's gonna come down to 200 closes a month. In order for you to generate $1 million a month of throughput at a 5K package, you have to close 200 deals a month, which means you have to close at least 7 deals a day at $5,000. Piff. No payment plans, piff, right? Let's say your calls are 45 minutes, right? For all 7 of those closes, right? That's 350 minutes a day, okay? That you are operating in the business just to be able to make $1 million a month. You have to spend that time on calls with prospect, which comes out to 5.5 hours a day. So basically 6 hours you are always just on call. That's 2,007 hours a year. And I don't know if you guys realize, but that's a quarter of your year you spend operating in the business. 12 months, you are spending 3 months of it taking calls, which is a lot of fucking time. Just for taking the fucking calls, right? That's a lot of time going to just taking calls. That's not even saying if you were to set your own calls as well. So this is probably doubled, okay? Basically, if you were to set and close, it would take up half of your year. That is half of your year operating within the business, not on it. That's not making content. That's not running and scaling ads and doing what you actually need to do, right? Which is scaling acquisition and focusing on how to make your product better. That's just half of your year just going and working in the business, taking calls. You can't, this is why when you want to scale big companies, this is why people outsource this, is because they need to get their time back. If you're spending half a year in the business, you're not scaling the business at all. This is if you were to close 7 deals a day at $5,000. Okay, so, and that's why I have a question here. What if you had an extra quarter or half a year, every single year, to focus on actually scaling the business? An extra 90 days, every single year. We'll just get out of calls then. I recommend any founder that is profitable enough to get out of calls and you have proof of concept to where you start building and scaling and getting a setter in your business, closing your business, you need to do it ASAP. You need to outsource the lifeline of your company, right? This is the most hyper important part of the process. Being a founder, this is one of the biggest causes of friction when it comes to people that want to just take their own calls because they feel like they can close more deals. Okay, yeah, you can close more deals, but you're never going to beat Elon and you're never going to beat Tate, who only focus on acquisition, who only focus on product. You're never going to beat those guys. Okay, so point is get out of calls as the founder. And if you're a startup, you have to take the calls and bite the bullet at the start. But if you're in a position where you can scale and start building, out, get out of calls immediately. Okay, so the third point that I actually want to cover with you guys, and I'm going to use really, really big companies as an example, is rebuilding for scale. Okay, so this is going to be, so like if you don't know what you're offering to the market, or you're looking to create an offer that's actually sustainable for the sales team, right? You're not just throwing up some information. You actually have an offer that you know is scalable or wanting to scale. I have this section, rebuilding for scalability. Okay, so what do I mean by that? There is really only 3 offers in the market that you can sell. Really only 3. It's going to be a low ticket, mid ticket, a high ticket. Okay, So this is like if you're low ticket, right, you're probably gonna be a SaaS or a tech founder, right, a paid community, right. This is gonna be you guys. Mid ticket offers, right, services, businesses like gym launch. I'm gonna cover that in a second. Um, and then high ticket businesses, I'll cover that as well. So let's go straight into low ticket. So if you are running a low ticket offer, you're gonna have a completely different hyper focus than like mid ticket offers, core services, and like private equity plays and like high ticket offers. It is just a completely different game. Okay, so if you're a low ticket offer, your hyper focus is going to be upselling. You can use low tickets as equity plays, value, and honestly ecosystem. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You're playing an MRR game. Okay, so this is gonna fall under like tech companies. Like normally, if you're running an MRR game, it's gonna be about tools, the assets, and then the community. It usually is bunched into these three if you're running low ticket. So what game are you gonna be playing? Right, MRR. Right, so the sales team and the way that you approach the market, it's gonna be about retention. It's gonna be about how much traffic you can run. Right, how many users do you have paying you every single month? Right, and that's why I have school up there. That like valuable, right? How long can you keep a person on MRR over a certain amount of time, right? How much volume, the LTV of clients. That is the low ticket game. Okay, so I have a lot of examples right here. So school is a great example, right? It's $100 a month. What do they offer? It's a platform. You can run a paid community in it, right? You can start an online business, and it's online business made simple and easy, right? And other features, right? And they charge $100 a month. But like the game that they play and the game that Alex Hormozi is playing, he's providing value with constant iteration to his product, and he's playing a retention game by leveraging hosts for communities, right? So if you join school, the reason you join school is because you have a community in there and you're getting value from it. You start your own business from it, right? Hamza's on there for a great example. I don't even know how much he makes. Multiple six figs for only $100 a month. Insane value, right? And the approach that school takes compared to, let's say, a high ticket offer like Grant Cardone, it's very, very, very different, right? Starbucks, great example of a low ticket. All right, I actually love this case study. So they have a $5 offer. They sell coffee for $5. Okay, and the reason that it works is because they have product market fit. They maintain LTV by leveraging a good product. They go mass market and they leverage their reputation. That's how this company makes money, right? So I have an example here as well. Starbucks, the LTV of a Starbucks customer is $14K. That is insane. That's insane. Name another product right now that you're getting $14K out of for a $5 product. It's insane. So what game are they playing? Value plus iteration of product, variations, and retention by reputation, right? Starbucks has pretty good coffee, right? That's how they make their money, right? High Level is another good example, right? They have a $100 offer. It's a tech asset, right? All-in-one back-end operations. They have product market fit, and the game that they play also is value plus iteration of product, retention by access to tech. They are retaining their people by providing so much value in their asset, right? So if this goes back to building the team, the sales team of High Level is so much different compared to Gym Launch. That's why at the beginning of the video I said it's like, well, what game are you playing? Like, what are you offering to the market right now? That's going to be very dependent on the kind of sales team you're going to build. Very, very different, right? Great example. $50 a month, 14 modern wealth creations, access to a community, professors, other features, value plus iteration. And this one specifically, Tate uses his paid community as a Trojan horse for his core service. Okay, he uses it as a hub, as an almost like an entry for his high ticket. So what he's doing is obviously once they like people that pay $50 a month, all right, cool, they go out and make money. He offers them a core service for like 7,000, what is it, 7,000, like $8,000 product, right? And this is called his inner circle, and this is where he monetizes. This is where he makes most of his money, right? So that's why I put down here, like one of the things, one of the games you could play with the MRR game is upsell, right? You can get people into a paid community and upsell them from the paid community because you provide upfront value. Because the market we live in right now, there's not a lot of trust because people offer shit products. Okay, so that's a low ticket game that you can play, right? The mid ticket, this is the core services, right? A core service, your focus is going to be very, very, very different. So I use Apple and Gym Launch as an example, right? So when you play the mid ticket game, it's really going to be about honestly downsell, because this is the way that people retain their clients. When they sell them like a 10K offer, what I've personally seen is like, okay, like they sell like a 10K offer, right? But after, let's say, like 6 months or like a year, they'll offer, okay, well, if you want access to more consulting, $500 a month. That's what I mean by downsell, right? And you're going to be focusing more on implementing your product and making sure that your service actually does what they say they do, right? Because if you get someone to spend $10,000, you better make sure your product is fucking damn good, all right? So it's going to be about leverage. Like this game is played by like a lot of people. Like I have it labeled here. Everyone plays this game, and the one thing that you don't want to end up is a commodity. Value plus proof of concept, right? This is the game you're playing, because everybody and their mother runs some sort of service or offer. So how do you stay out of the commodity bucket and show everyone that you actually provide value and proof of concept? Okay, so it's going to be about results, right? It's going to be about your shit actually works, proof of concept. It's going to be about margins, right? Because the sales team, if they're taking 10-15%, you have to make sure your margins are really, really good on this, especially if you're running an agency. If you're running an agency, you have to make sure your margins are great. Otherwise, it's slavery, right? And it's going to be about opportunity cost and the trade-off, right? Scalability. So what do I mean by like opportunity cost? Like if you're selling a 10K product and you're offering a one-on-one, that's an opportunity cost. That's a trade-off, right? You can offer that at the start, but that's really, really hard to get to like $1 million a month, especially if you're the CEO that's focusing on all the fulfillment and you're handling all the fulfillment. It's tough. So the two examples I have here is Apple and Gym Launch, right? So right here, Apple, they offer what? What do they offer? Their core product is like an iPhone or like a 3K product. It's like they offer the laptops. That's what they sell. They sell tech, right? But quality tech. But that's not also how they make their money. What else do they sell? What else do they sell? AirPods, dude, like iPads, right? These are other forms of down selling, right? They buy the iPhone, they'll probably buy the laptop, they'll probably buy the AirPods, and they probably buy the iPad. That's why I mean, like, you have to focus on product in here, and then this is a downsell game as well. How much it's maximizing your LTV. Right, Apple is a great example of this. Their core product, core service. Usually, if you're running an info offer, it's selling for $2,000 to $3,000. Apple's a great example of running a core service. It's about implementation, right? Downselling and focusing on your core service. An iPhone, I'm pretty sure they make one every single year or something, right? Gym Launch, 16K product. So this is another example of a mid-ticket offer. And if you guys don't know Alex Hormozi's story, get out from under that rock and go watch his content. And then go actually learn the story of this, because I think first year they did like 17 mil off a 16K product, right? Insane. 16K product. What do they focus on? Implementation. Implementing how you can start your own gym into other businesses, right? And the last way you can monetize is really private equity plays, right? These are value propositions. Like a growth partner is a great example of a private equity play, right? And this is where you have to have the most leverage, and that's really any business. Any business, it's gonna be either low ticket and MRR, like a tech, a core service like Apple, or private equity. That's really the only three ways I see monetizing off of the info game or agency game. Okay. Boeing is a great example of a high ticket offer. They sell private jets. These guys are worth 41 mil. Right? If you want to offer high ticket services, private jets is pretty fucking high ticket. Acquisition.com. This is the last way you can monetize. I'll keep it short and quick because I want to get to the last one. It's equity plays. Right? They're buying businesses and they're taking a percent and a cut of it because they already have knowledge. They already have infrastructures and information on how to scale companies. So what do? They go to companies where they see proof of concept already and they scale it up. Right? So these are the three ways or you can rebuild for scalability. And it depends on what game you want to play. Right? Do you want to play a low ticket game? Do you want to play a mid ticket game? Or do you want to play like a percent high ticket private equity play? Right? Which one do you want to maximize for and build around? Because that's going to be very dependent on the sales team as well, on what kind of team you're going to build. Okay, so this last one is simple front end sales processes and acquisition. Right? How are you turning your attention to leads? And I actually took this in front of my buddies because it was so good because most people don't do this. Most people when it comes to generating leads and like building the sales team around it too, they're like, oh, they maximize for views. They're like, oh, bro, if I just get 1 million views, I'm gonna make $1 million. No, that's not how it works because more often than not, if you're maximizing for views instead of quality, you're gonna lose 10 out of 10 times. I'm pretty sure Mosey said this on one of his YouTube videos. He is hyper-focusing just business, niche down content so you can actually get businesses to watch his stuff, right? Going broad, yes, it can get you views. Yes, it can get you a lot of attention, but is it going to turn into money, right? I see a lot of people, yo, bro, my TikTok or my Instagram got 1 million views. All right, cool. How much money we make from it? That's all you should really care about, okay? So the front-end acquisition. So the old way of front-end acquisition is you have an offer, you have attention, you instantly convert them. This is the old way. You have some sort of offer, right? You have attention, and this could be ads, this could be whatever, organic. You send them straight to the VSL to buy and convert, and then you obviously fulfill. This is the old way, because yes, you can make like 20K a month off of just like converting the people that are instantly ready to buy, right? The 3% of the market. But what about the 97%? Right? What about the other people? Because me personally, I don't know about you guys. I have never bought off of a VSL ever in my in my life. Maybe that's just me. But I have personally never seen a random person, a random ad, for the first time ever, clicked on their shit and instantly sent that person 10K. I've never done it. Well, the ways that I've been personally monetized is someone has an offer, I see them, right, and then they own my attention. What do I mean by that? Okay, they send me to a YouTube, right? They send me to some sort of community. They send me to some sort of place where they can educate me, right, and then convert. That is the only way that I personally have bought. I don't know about you guys, but that's just me. So if you're running your offer, don't just be like, oh, I'm gonna make an offer. I'm gonna run ads. I'm gonna try to convert them instantly, and hope to make $1 million a month. Because it's not fucking 2012, 2014, whatever. Like it's not Ty Lopez era where he can make a YouTube ad instantly make 150K a day. We don't live in that era anymore. There's actually so much bad will in the market for buying stuff that people are me personally, I'm turned off by like a lot of the stuff that I see. So if you want to actually have a good front end acquisition, you need to do all these extra steps because the game is getting harder and competition is increasing. Okay, so pay attention, right? So the number one thing everyone looks for is you actually need a reason to listen to them. Okay, and essentially There's only four ways to generate attention. Everybody knows this. It's either outreach, ads, content, referral, and that is the game plan. That is the game plan. Alex already said it best. There's only four ways to generate attention, right? So it's mandatory that you create a workflow on how to figure out this distribution model. You have to figure out how to make sure you maximize every single one of these. Okay, right, so your acquisition channel. Well, what do you use? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn? I recommend just using all of them, but also it's very dependent on what you're offering to the market, right? If you're selling B2B, okay, cool, go to LinkedIn, use YouTube as your selling mechanism, and then use Instagram for proof of concept, testimonials, and then do LinkedIn on outreach, and then run ads to your YouTube, right? It's very different on what game you want to play, right? After they go through after your acquisition channels, it's coming down to people, right? What do you have to start engaging with this attention from these channels, right? Do you have appointment setters? Do you have automations? Do you have AI, right? These are the things that you can use, right? Your ecosystem. Outreach, CRMs, right? Sales assets, paid ads. What are you doing with this attention? Where are they going? After obviously you master the distribution channels, they go through setters. Where are they going? Are they going to a community? I recommend starting some sort of community. Everyone has one. Okay, these are the mechanisms you can use. Okay, highest response rate, right? So this is pretty much after they get in the ecosystem. This is where you nurture and you build trust with them, right? Direct response, text them as soon as they get into your community, right? Value approach, send them other assets that can solve their problems, okay? And do what you actually say that you do. Well, okay. So if you take this attention, right, across all four ways you can generate it, maximize every single platform you can use it on, get people to engage with them as soon as they join or enter your ecosystem, right? This is where you can build trust, interest. This is where you can start getting actual leads, right? So attention to leads. That is it, okay? So also, the next step of your acquisition should be owning the attention, right? So after they come off of like whatever ads, organic, you need to make sure that these people are constantly pretty much seeing you and getting in their face every single day, right? So you can text them, right? Obviously, getting a setter in your DMs, this is what everybody does, right? Owning the attention also means you can send them to a VSL, right? And this is where you can also grab their information. This is an info grabber, okay? This is where you send them to the hub, the community, or whatever software that collects data or whatever, right? After you collect the data, they instantly get inputted into the email software, right, or CRM. This is where you start to convert people. So, just so I'm not losing everyone here, okay? After you own the attention, after you generate the attention, you should go into instantly owning it, right? What do I mean? After they go through all of this, you need to get their information and you need to get them into a community so you can start building trust with them and start sending them stuff that can actually solve their problems. And this is where the converting happens, right? So after you own the attention, right, you get their information. This is where you start to educate them. This is where they start going and consuming from YouTube, right? They start consuming from your community, right? They start consuming from your VSL, right? And this is where you can start engaging convos, groups, YouTube, email list, ads. These are all distribution methods of being able to educate these people, right? Education, like this is also, honestly, I'll pause right here because this is probably the most important part of owning the attention is actually educating people about what you do, right? This will help reduce sales cycles. This will help your closer close deals easier, right? They already, like Iman has such a high close rate just because of all the YouTube content that he posts. Same with Alex and Rosie, right? They already know exactly what they do. Okay, so attention, own the attention, right? Educate the attention, okay? And this is where you start converting people, okay? This is where they start going through the VSL. This is where they start booking calls. This is where you start having conversations, retargeting them with ads, booking sales calls. This is where you can start converting people. After these three things are done, generate the attention, own the attention, educate the attention, then convert the people, right? Because if you educate them, then they become leads. Don't just make CTAs on Instagram off of your short form and just instantly pitch them some shit, right? Yeah, you're going to close some deals, but you're not maximizing for the most cash flow. Okay, so I hope this video covers a lot. I actually won't. I'll save this for later. This is a lot more tactical stuff. So I hope this video brought a lot of value for you guys. Okay, so if you're a business owner or any CEO and you're looking to scale some sort of business, whether I don't care if you're a closer looking to go into starting your own agency, a setter looking to go start your own thing, if you're a growth operator already managing people's offers, if you are looking to scale any sort of offer, there's probably going to be a link in the description somewhere on this video or in the description. Okay, to join a community that I personally have, and one of the goals with my community is to be connected with the top founders in the space that are scaling the offers. One, just for connections. Two, if I can also learn from you as well. I have built a portfolio of offers that have scaled to about $5 million a year. All right. So I'm looking to get connected with more founders. There's going to be a link to join the community as well. And there's going to be a link to join and partner up with my company, Innovate, if you're looking to hire reps or scale your offer as well. All right. So, no, I'll see you guys in the next one.